Mhm. Mhm. I'm just waiting for people to show up because I got something to say. Okay, let me see, what does it say? I got some as I always do. Okay then. All right then. That's what we want to do right there. Okay. Mhm. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I know I'm normally not on this time of day. However, however, I got something to say, as I always do, of course. And we just need to have this conversation out for a while. You know, hmm, don't look like nobody's coming. So I'm going to probably just call this a day and do this on Monday. Hmm. Oh well, hello everybody. How you doing? How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good. Uh, Good evening. I just have something to say this afternoon, and I've been saying for quite a few years, but it seems to go unnoticed often. Mr. Roland Martin is in town today. I believe he's at Holt Street Baptist Church. That church played a pivotal and important part of the whole civil rights movement when it got to, in reference to Montgomery's participation in that process. And I think it is appropriate that Holt Street Church is the one that is hosting Mr. Roland Martin, who is a contributor or somewhat of a journalist with one of those, I think it's PBS or someplace like that. And here is my issue today. And to I want as many people to get on this as possible. I have been here for 34, going on 35 years. And the issue of race, whether I bring it up or somebody else brings it up, it all not normally I bring it up in response to other people's whining, moaning, and groaning. I bring it because of that. But is it time we put that dog to rest? So I have been wondering, why is it, being a black man, 68 years old, been around a couple of years, why is it that I don't feel the way about race that a lot of people in this city and in this country, especially in the South, feels? Okay. Now I'm a product of the South. My mother being from um, my mother being from Jackson, Mississippi. Um, my father being from Georgia. So I'm a product of the South by way of a genetic predisposition. So herein lies the question this today. Why are Roland Martin is in town? Like I said earlier, he is a guy that sees race in everything, everything. Uh, I'm a person who believes that whether you survive, whether you succeed, or whether you fail, at least 50% of the reason you do this, it is going to be because of the person looking back at you in the mirror. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Every time this year comes around, we have these long diatribes about race all the time. We have these long diatribes about, oh Lord, because of this and because of that and because of this and because of that. This happened in 1964. This happened in 1965. This happened in 66, 72. You name the year, something happened in those years. So here's the question that I have to ask people. Why is it even people who live at the same time that we did and you do found a way to be successful? How is it that the yes, is it easy? Hey, this may be some news to people, but no matter what color you are, being successful is a tough road to hoe. What is success? It is when preparation meets opportunity. All the opportunities in the world don't mean anything to you if you are not prepared to take hold of that opportunity. So, if you keep going to school, especially in this time of day, in this time, with the technology being what it is, if you keep going to school to take up stupid subjects, okay, then you're going to FAFO that it doesn't make sense. Okay. Some of our educational institutions are not what they ought to be. Our public schools are not what they ought to be. The expectation of our black students is not what it's supposed to be. So, how do you expect to get um, prepared for the opportunities that may present themselves to you if you at first don't learn manners, to be respectful, and learn that nothing is free? Nothing is free. Even rich people didn't start, a lot of them didn't start off rich. Okay, no, some of them started out poor as you and I. But the question of the morning today is race just used as an excuse on both sides? I mean, seriously, is it used because it is so it is so prevalent in the conversations of today? Now, I am a black man. Actually, I'm brown, but for the sake of this conversation, I'll go with the regular term used as black man. I'm a black man. Been a black man for a long time. I've been black ever since I was born. So I didn't just turn this way. I've held on to it for a long time. I like being black. It was said that blacks in America are the most influential culture in this country. There are more people who want to be like us than we want to be like them. We are a special people, but we're not the only people who've had ups and downs, been treated wrongly. There were times in this country where just about everybody except the white guy was preferred. I mean, we're not preferred. We were not preferred. There was one time they didn't want Chinese. There was one time they didn't want Irishmen. There was one time Jewish people caught hell. We're not the only people in America that have been screwed, glued, and tattooed. Okay, even white folks back in the old days, they even treated their own people bad. Okay, so there's always been a group of people who didn't like or don't like another group of people. So the question of the day, and I just thought I don't normally do this on Fridays, but I just thought I'd come on today, say, is it really about race, or is race always used as an excuse because you have failed? Okay, I don't like Roland Martin either. I don't like him. He plays the race car like it was on like it was a photograph on a record machine. Let's play it again. 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 Because as long as you can convince people that everything that happens to them is because of somebody else, then you'll never be successful. Let's just take the SNAP thing, for instance. You don't have to worry about SNAP if you're willing to get out here and work 2 or 3 jobs or whatever it is you have to do to buy your own groceries. Don't let the government buy your own groceries. We have surrendered who we are, and that's hardworking people. Black folks have always been hardworking. We were the original Mexicans. Okay, we the one who worked hard. We the one who got out there, came up with ideas to make our lives better. We did that. Yeah, we did. We weren't given much of a choice, but so be it. We're not the only people who've had a tough time in life. We're not the only people, but these people who make millions of dollars on the issue of race, as long as it is profitable to make money on race, we will never, we will never get further than where we are. Okay? No, we didn't. So what what is the issue here? What is the issue here? We get angry when we get fired from a job. Trust me, I know about it. I work for one of the biggest corporations in America, Cumulus Broadcasting. I did. They're the second largest media corporation in America for a long time. I worked for them for 24 of those years. So, and they came in one day and they said, "Hey, see, it wouldn't want to be you," but they treated me fairly. They gave me an opportunity to come there. They gave me, and I didn't go up there begging. I went up there and asked and proved my worth. I believe up there. So I know about corporate America. I really don't like corporate America, to tell you the truth, uh, because everything is so sterile. Everything is not personal. It's so sterile. Your number in a box or in one of those what they call those things that you when you go to work, a cubicle. You're one of those people in a cubicle when you're in corporate America. You're not an individual. You're a part of the whole thing. And sometimes, if you're a big building, nobody's going to notice if one brick is missing. And unfortunately, in corporate America, you're just a little brick. Okay, you're just a little brick. You're not that important in the whole scheme of things. And that's just where corporate America is. Nothing personal. Okay. So I lived in corporate America. I worked in corporate America. I worked in military. I worked as a civilian. I've been self-employed and all those things. And I never really made a whole lot of money, but I don't care. Can't take it with you anyway. But again, with Roland Martin in Montgomery, I think we're gonna send some people right back. We're gonna they will digress to me a couple years. So again, somebody tell me if you really believe that race is the big deal in America today. I don't believe it. As a matter of fact, I think we as Black folks sometimes use it as an excuse because we have not prepared ourselves for the jobs and the opportunities that are available to us also. And I'm going to tell you something. Technology is one of the few fields in the last 30, 40 years that nobody cares what your color is. All they want to know is, can you do this? Can you do this? And I learned that when a friend of mine, Rick Murchison, here who lives here in Montgomery, the former Navy commander, um, he retired Navy commander. As a matter of fact, while he was flying over the 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 Vietnam land, I was back here in high school. Okay. But and I'm Black. He gave me a chance to come in his place because I wanted to learn how to do something for myself. So if all else fail, I didn't have to depend on nobody else or no one else in order to get money. And I thank God that Rick Murchison allowed me to come in and mess up some of his computers. That's what I did initially. But we blame race when race is not the issue. The issue is preparation. Okay. Yeah, we call that luck. That's when opportunity meets preparation. We call that luck. Okay. There are many jobs out there out there right now. But if all you're doing is going to school for business administration, psychology, hell, after a while, AI is going to be able to diagnose your psychological issues immediately. If they won't even just hey, listen, put this in a couple of words, bam, they'll come up with a diagnosis and a treatment plan. We're not, after a while, we're not even going to need human beings for a lot of these jobs. Okay. That's good and that's bad because people still got to eat. But there's always going to be, if you prepare yourself, there's going to be a place for you. So tell me, I just want to know, does anybody out there think that race is the big issue that black folks seem to make it today? Are we really? And just in case anybody forgot, just in case anybody forgot, there are certainly more poor white folks in America than black people. A lot more. There's only 41 million, 41 million black folks in America now, because we helping kill some of us all. But okay, there are 287 million whites by the last census. So I'm just trying to figure out where this issue of race always comes up. It always comes up. And when I saw Roland Martin over at Hope Street, I said, "Oh hell no! Here we go again. We're gonna start blaming somebody else for what happened in 1963, 1964. Now, it was a terrible thing. Oh yeah, and of course, most of those people were Democrats. Oh well, the Republicans are the new Democrats. So we make an excuse up for every situation we put ourselves into. Oh well, the Republicans are the old Democrats. Well, then, now I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something. If the Republicans are what the Democrats used to be, then why isn't everybody, okay, becoming a Democrat? I mean, seriously. If everybody is, if the Republicans are the bad part, then it would seem like to me the Republicans will all want to be Democrats now, because according to you guys, the Republicans are the Democrats, and the Democrats are the people with the I don't know, with the traditional philosophies and the traditional means by which to live before now. Since it is, since I mean, the Republicans. So I'm just trying to figure out: is it race or not? I think race is used often because we can't come up with a reason why we have failed. Not only have we failed ourselves, we've failed our parents sometimes, and Lord have mercy, public school is one of the worst things you can put your kids in today when it comes to uh, academic achievement. Now we do got some schools in the public schools where we got magnet programs where we take out the best and brightest and we put them in another school with other people who are part of the best and brightest situation. But please tell me, what is race? Okay, what it? I mean, what it? Tell me why you believe that there's still a race issue in America. Some people just don't like you because you're a butthole. Okay, because you suck. Because you're not a very nice guy, nice woman. Some people just don't like you. And you may happen to be black, but that's not why they don't like you. They don't like you because maybe you got a snotty attitude. You haven't availed yourself to the cultural learning that we all have to go through at some point in time. So I don't get it. Somebody just I mean I got the number there. Do I got the number? Let me put the number there so you know how to call it because I really I really want to know. Okay, really want to know why people always go back to race when things don't go wrong, when things don't go right. Okay, that's all I want to know. 2963. I mean, it's got to be somebody out there that can answer my question for me. Okay, because I get tired of the I get tired of the conversation all the time. It's race, it's race, it's race, it's race, it's race. Okay, Roland Martin swears up and down that there is employment racism. And again, I keep telling people, it's not color, it is culture. It is culture. I personally won't hire your ass if you come to my business with your pants all down. You won't get a job with me. I'll think of every excuse in the whole wide world not to hire you. Okay. I will close the hiring date. You will not come to my business with your pants all down and with the dumbest looking ass haircut I've ever seen, and you're going to represent me? No, no, I'll cut off the interviewing. Okay. I just won't do it. You know, I mean, you know how stupid it is to show up for people with your drawers showing. Okay. Now it's gotten so bad now. Again, remember I told you guys that we were the most influential culture in America, as voted on by Americans. Well, now the white kids are taking their pants and holding their pants down too. I even seen a couple of Mexicans doing it now. Why don't we take that influence and turn America around? Show them our best. Show them our best. Since we are the most influential culture in this country, we cook good, we dress good. When we dress good, we smell good with some good cologne. I mean, we did it the right way, which is the only reason why I believe that we have attained the heights that we've attained in this country because we did it the right way. Even when we were being done bad, we did it the right way. Now, we don't really know which way is right anymore. Okay, we really don't. I understand. I had the argument the other day about the Second Amendment. Second Amendment, and people carrying guns and things of that nature. Everybody's carrying a gun now. Of course, that's Alabama. It's a stupid thing to do to let everybody carry a gun, but that's the way that's the way the things roll. I carried one for a little while, but I certainly know how to use one, and I would only use it for self defense, so not go around robbing people and things of that nature. But it's a problem in our communities. And then, we got this excuse. Well, we don't make guns. Well, most of the people in jail, white and black, didn't make the gun, but you're certainly responsible for using it in an inappropriate way. But here's my problem. How come, why is it that you people think that there is a conspiracy to bring guns in the hood? It may not be a conspiracy. It just may be knowledge because of our culture and lack of fathers that young black males would probably be more readily available to use those guns for nefarious reasons. Because we don't we had a lot of dads that are not at home. We got everybody's got a father, but too many of us don't have a dad. We just don't have one. So the question is, and this is my question, I won't be long. Is it really race? Or is it culture? Culture. Okay? Is it race? Okay? Or Culture? Or culture? And where did that culture come from? Okay? That's the issue. Where did we get that culture? Okay? Again, Is it race or culture? And I think people have a right to dislike any aspects of anybody's culture. Okay, if you had a friend that had 13 dogs next door, I wouldn't like that either. But is it race or culture that offends people? And I can tell you that I don't know anybody that's white that don't like black people. I don't know anybody. At least they haven't showed it to me anyway. So is it race or is it culture? I would say it is culture. Okay. As a matter of fact, the culture at one point had gotten so bad that we thought if you use correct English and the pronunciation of words that you were acting white. Now I don't really know what acting white means. If just because you try to use the King's English the way it was taught to you, we come up with our own words now. You know, we got a little ebonics going on there, and ebonics is good if you're in the club. You know, if you're in the club and you know you ain't got much to do and you want to use a little ebonics to talk to to talk to Shakina or I mean Shawana or Shamika or whatever her name is. Yeah, I ain't mad at you at that one. You know, 'cause you have to communicate on the level that you happen to be on. So, but in business, you know, we have to have a standard method of communication in order to get the job. Get the job. We got to have a certain universal language, which is called English. I don't know if it really is English or not. We'll call it American because the English don't like the way we speak English. so we'll call it American language. Okay. So anyway, here's again here's the question. And when I saw Roland Martin at Holt Street Church today, I just said, "My Lord, another guy coming to Montgomery telling us how bad we got it." And does anybody out there know the one solution to most of these problems? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know what the solution to SNAP cards are? Anybody know? Anybody wants to know what that solution is? It's a simple solution. Okay. It is a simple solution to that. Let me turn this phone off here because I can't talk with it ringing like that. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so there we go. So anyway, there's a simple solution to most of our problems. If any, does anybody care to take a gander at what the solution is? Come on now. I was talking how to do this on Monday all over again. It's a simple solution to it. Anybody know what it is? We got the number here. Yeah, somebody give a brother a call. Okay, there's the number right there. Give me a call. Somebody out there's got to know this. It's a simple solution. It is a simple one. The solution to what you perceive as job placement bias. We got a solution to that. Redlining house. If you think that you can't get a house in a particular neighborhood, there's a solution for that. If you think that the prices are going up on you when they make them cheaper for somebody else, there's a solution to that. And the thing about it, it's all the same solution. So rather than us apply the solution, the first thing we do is come up with race. And again, I think it's culture and not race. I really believe that. It is culture. 'Cause I got to tell you something. Sometimes I see some folks I don't want to talk to, and that's on both sides. Okay, because of the way they carry themselves, the way they and one thing I can't stand is people who put earrings all in their face and all in their nose and all in their thing. I'm not going to hire you. You just wait. First of all, if you don't have no respect for your own body, I know you're going to have respect for mine. I won't hire you. I just wouldn't. Okay. You look like an idiot. Okay. You look like I ought to be in a circuit someplace. You got earrings in your nose, in your ears, in your jaw, on your lip, and all these things, and you wonder why you can't get a job. You can't unless you get one working at home. That's cool. I'm with them. That's all right. So anyway, I just thought Roland Martin came to town and put us back 10 years. Put us back again when because every time we have these meetings, it is never how to self improve. It is making excuses why we haven't. Why we haven't. Case in point. You ever notice that people who come to America from different lands always find a way to do for themselves, start their own stores, sell their own clothes, have their own gas stations, have their own everybody's got something that culturally they can call their own except us. Why is that? Why is that? That's a hell of a question. Everybody that comes here has something culturally they can call their own except black folks. Why is that? Can't blame that on the white folks. Can't blame it on the Mexicans. Can't blame it on the Indians. Can't blame it on anybody. Tell me why you think that is. Why do you believe that culturally we have nothing to call our own in our own community? Now we used to have, every once in a while we'd have a restaurant open up or something like that, but not really much anymore. Matter of fact, the only place I know of that's totally owned by black folks was over on by the Montgomery Mall, and a couple of days ago it caught on fire. I don't know if they're going to open back up or not, or how that's going to work out. But I've done business with them on a number of occasions. Um, I know there's another place on where is it at? Norman Bridge. Is it on Norman Bridge Road? I think that's where. Or is it on Perry Hill Road? As a matter of fact, I forgot the name of it. They don't advertise for me, so I ain't gonna give no more free advertisement. But it is a place where they sell ribs and things of that nature. And I have done business with them too. Good stuff. Good food. Good food. Um, so, but does anybody know what the reasoning is behind this? There's just one answer to all of these perceived injustices of job discrimination, of oh yeah, Martha's restaurant. That's true. That's true. Martha's restaurant. But I don't even know. Is she still down there by not it's not on Atlanta Highway. Is that on Atlanta Highway? I think it's way down there near Summer Salt or Summer something down there. Yeah, Martha's restaurant too. But there's another one too on. There's another one too. They got another one on Mobile Road. So do you know what the solution to all of these problems are? Anybody know? It's one solution. It's a universal solution to all of our problems we complain about every day. And Roland Martin didn't have the solution today. If he had it, he didn't say anything about it. Okay, he didn't say anything about it because okay, this is a secret. Okay, just between you and I. Okay, they a lot of people make notoriety for themselves. They make money because you don't know the solution to the problem. So we show up at church rather than serving God and praying and being thankful for all the things that we have. We come to our churches and start whining. Somebody once said, if you're gonna worry, don't pray. And if you pray, why are you worried? Do you really believe what you say you believe? Do you really believe it? Do you really believe that there's a God in heaven? Do you really believe, or is it something politically that you can say to be part of the mainstream? That's all I want to know. If you're gonna pray, don't worry. And if you worry, why are you praying? Why don't you pray? Okay. And Lord knows we got enough churches in our communities, in the black community, that we as many churches as we got, we should have a panacea over there if we really believe. And part of that belief system is we do unto others as we'd have them do unto you. If we begin to really help one another, we would see our we would see our wealth grow. We would see our attitudes get better because everybody else in this town that comes here that brings part of their culture with them, some are to ad nauseum sometimes, but they seem now I don't know what happens on in each individual house, but collectively they seem to do better than we do. And we've been here how many 400 years? We've been here a long time. 400 been here a long time. But since nobody wants to tell me what that one essential thing that everybody else does that we don't do, and which is why we're the most complaining folks in America, is the black Americans. We complain about everything. If the sun comes up, we want some rain. If the rain comes, we want the sun. If it's cold, we want to be hot. If it's hot, we want to be cold. If you're tall, you want to be short. If you're short, you want to be tall. If you're black, you want to be white. And if you're white, well, sometimes you want to be black. Well, no, 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 no. Some whites do want to be black. They do. They do. But anyway, um, listen, that was just my little speech today. I just I couldn't help it when I saw Roland Martin in town. The race hustler of all time. The race hustler of all time. Nothing can come out of this guy's mouth unless he talks about Trump. How bad Trump is. How bad Trump. Trump don't have anything to do with what's in your bank account. Not a thing. He doesn't have jack to do with you quitting school. He doesn't have jack to do with you going out robbing and stealing and killing people. He has nothing to do with that. Not a thing. And to tell you the truth, there are a group of people in this country who don't even worry about what the economy is doing because then they don't depend on what happens in the White House to determine what happens in their house. Okay, you didn't see nobody. Matter of fact, you may have seen maybe 1% of the people when the SNAP program was going. You're talking about their food stamp, but other than that, you just see a bunch of us because. And then I heard somebody say one day, "Well, they made us leave the house in order so we can get food stamps." No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't even make you leave the house and get welfare. You did that voluntarily. Nobody makes you leave your kids. Nobody makes you leave them. You do that because you want to ease your way out. We wanted to ease a way out, and the government gave it to us so they could tell our young ladies. So those young ladies will be dependent on the government more than they're dependent upon you. Okay. Matter of fact, Charlie Kirk said something one time that just made so much sense. You don't like Charlie Kirk? Turn off the radio. Turn the thing off. He said, "Black women too often will divorce the man and marry the government." And you see where that marriage led them to the first of this month or in the last month. You see where it led them to, right? they, they was right ready to get divorced because the government was Big Daddy was saying, "Well, you'll eat when I tell you to." So you'll eat when I let you eat. Other than that, you just got to wait on me. I said, "Okay, then. All right, all right. Is that the way we roll?" So anyway, now when somebody can answer my question, why is it that every other group of people can come to Montgomery or Chicago or Prattville or Wetumpka, Millbrook? Why every other group of people, Philadelphia, Washington, can come here and survive, and we've been here for many, many, many decades, and we still whining. Okay, we have some of the richest athletes in the world here. Even Michael Jordan, who worth billions of dollars, never came up, never said, "Let me build a factory and let me hire people to make my tennis shoes," because he got a little money and he became money fixated. It seemed than the survival of the kids coming after him. Okay, I ain't mad at him. That was his money. He can do with his money whatever he wants to do. But then we had people in Chicago killing one another, kids robbing each other for his tennis shoes, and he still didn't do anything about it. Okay, we got kids now that can barely get lunch money. That are spending six, five, four, $700 for a pair of tennis shoes. So again, the and they still buying them. They still buying them. I mean, amen. They still buying them. So what is the number one thing that we do not do that every other culture of people do? What's the one solution to begging people for a job? What is the one? What's the one solution? What's the one solution? It's not whining on the side of the road talking about the white man won't give me this and the white man won't give me that. What's the solution? It is a simple solution. As a matter of fact, it is a simple solution. But I'm willing to have this conversation again on Monday because I realize I'm not on this time of day, and most people don't, they don't know I'm on. But I just had to do it. When I saw Roland Martin at one of our most historic churches, I just had to say, and I listened to him. I listened to what he was saying. We got as black people, we have to stop getting together having pity parties. Okay, we have to get together to empower one another. Empower one another by doing business with one another. And you don't have to look for a job if you create your own. Is it easy? No. Will everybody make it? No. Matter of fact, most small businesses go out of business within 5 years. Um, but one thing you'll never know what it's like until you go into business, and then you'll understand, and then you'll be glad to get another job because you work with somebody else's money. You don't have to put your money up for it. Okay. I had 3 shops in Montgomery over the years. 3. And every time, every time I did, somebody wanted to come in and get something free or tell me I can go to Walmart and get it for the same price. Okay. No problem. I ain't mad. This is America. You have a right to go wherever and to whomever you want to do business with. That's just the way it goes. That's life. So, but don't come asking me like some did later on to participate financially in your church going ons and your church programs and your building fund. Don't come to me. I don't hear you. What say? What say? No, I don't hear. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing you got to say. No, go back to Walmart and see if they'll give you something. I ain't mad at you. Okay. So the question of the day is race really a problem? Is it really a problem in America, or is it a figment of our imagination? Okay, is it? And I think it's more of a figment of our imagination than anything else. Prepare yourself so for the opportunities that are there. Look in today's newspaper. Go to a lot of these places that have jobs, but you have to have certain skills. This is not 1975 where you can walk out of the house and if you had any kind of degree, you could get a job by the time the day was over. You could get a job by the time the day was over. You could get a job. Y- we don't have those days anymore. Okay, we don't stop taking up business administration. AI is here now. It's going to do all the administration. If I wanted to do a chart right now, or if I wanted to do design a form right now, I could do it in a couple of minutes with AI. I could. If I wanted to design a spreadsheet that'll do this, minus this, carry this up to AI can do it. It's an amazing thing that artificial intelligence now is running thing with real intelligence. So I'm just saying, we have to prepare ourselves for the opportunities not only yesterday but for tomorrow. But again, if somebody can tell me at some point what there you have it. There you have it. There you have it right there, Frank. You knocked it out of the park. You knocked it out of the park. Until we decide to assist one another, until we decide to assist one another. And that's not racist. That's survival. Because how many times have you been in a Chinese restaurant, a black man working back there? And I done bought a lot of Chinese food, I gotta tell you. But how many times have you seen one? How many times have you gone to a restaurant where there is what do you call it, Indian restaurant? Have you seen black folks back there? You know how to see black, and Lord have mercy, don't see no black folks in a Mexican restaurant. I ain't mad at it. It's about helping each other. Okay, and that's just where it is. We have a tendency as black folks to make everybody rich but ourselves. Okay, and it don't happen overnight. Okay, I got a motto in business. It is better to get a little bit all the time than a whole lot just once. So, and we have to learn how to do business. We have to learn how to do business. And just because you got business cards and you rented a building, don't make you a businessman. The businessman is the man who knows how to uh, uh, take care of his customers. That's a good businessman who make you want to come back to them. And a lot of people come back to me, even though I'm not. I mean, I still got a business license, but I don't have a shop anymore because I work from the house. Forget all that money I'm paying for real estate. But you have to treat people like they're special, not as if they are an inconvenience in your day. Okay, they are the reason for your day. So you're right. You're absolutely right, Frank. We're the only group of people who rather give our money to somebody else. Somebody else. We rather give our money to somebody else. We don't make tennis shoes, although we buy more tennis shoes than any other group of people in America. But we don't make NAM one of them. And the word is NAM, not NAM one of them. Okay. We don't make one tennis shoe. But Lord have mercy. I think if we did a hold it, let me see. Let me see what Siri says. Hey Siri, how much money in America is spent on tennis shoes every year? Let's see. Let's see what Chat GPT says here. Okay.
In 2024, Americans spent approximately $113.7 billion on footwear, including tennis shoes. The tennis shoes market alone was valued at around $692.71 million in 2024 and is projected to reach $908.41 million by 2033. That was from ChatGPT. Check important info for mistakes.
Okay. Well, either way, $113.7 billion on footwear, and most of those are tennis shoes that somebody else makes in another country. Jordan is making his in another country. Everybody's making theirs in another country, and we wonder why we don't have no business. Yeah, we are professional spenders. We are professional. What's the word I'm looking for here? There's a word. Professional. We believe in spending money as opposed to making it and helping others. Okay, I mean some people do, but not most of us don't. Okay, we are the we I mean we are everybody's potluck. Hey, let me what's that? Okay, what he just said was, listen, let's go to America. Let us find the hood, whichever way we are, and put our business there because they love us because we're not them. Okay. And they will give us all kind of money. And it's true. And then we'll sit back and go to the Holt Street Baptist Church with Roland Martin and complain about our situation. Anyway, I gotta go. I just had to say that. When I saw Roland had come to our town, I said, "Well, okay, I understand it, I guess." But anyway, uh, I just had to put it out, and I may continue this on Monday, but I'm not sure. It just because we never get any place. We keep doing the same thing the same way we've always done it, and then we expect different results. We keep supporting every other business in town, but we don't support our own. So, and we don't have very many businesses anyway. We only own 5% of the businesses in the city of Montgomery. You see, I'm not. I'm not. I don't want to have all black businesses or all white businesses, but I do want to have a fair share that represents the population here. But we don't, because what's going to happen, and then I'll leave you with this: if things keep going the way they are going, so much crime, uh, uh, so much illegitimacy, so much uneducated people. What's going to happen, because we don't have our standard of education has gone to the rock bottom. I truly hope that the new superintendent will somehow raise the standard of education in our public schools so our kids have a fighting chance. And you shouldn't have to go to a magnet school in order to get a great education. I saw a teacher the other day said, yes, the parents are mostly responsible for disciplining their kids. Absolutely. But the school is also responsible for disciplining our kids also, because these kids need to see some discipline someplace, or else the only place they are going to see it is in that almost $2 billion correctional facility that is going up in Elmore County. Okay. We got some thinking to do about how we want to live our rest of our lives in America and in Montgomery, Alabama. We need some serious collaboration amongst all of us. Okay. Amongst all of us, how we are going to survive. I may be dead and gone, but how are we going to survive and be prosperous? Because our parents, my parents, people my age parents, they taught us to survive, but not to prosper. So we need to teach our kids to prosper. And to prosper is not instant gratification. It is working hard, maintaining a reasonable lifestyle. So as you get older, you have something to show for it. So we and black folk, we've been in survival mode so much until we don't know what it's like to do anything else but survive. But surviving is not a good business plan. Okay. Prospering, that is the plan. Okay. So anyway, well, listen, you guys. Now, if y'all disagree with me, that's okay. That's cool. I can live with that. And if I'm wrong, please tell me how I'm wrong. I'm gonna rerun this later on the day, and y'all can just go to my Facebook page and check it out, Kevin Elkins, or so whatever. So, how do we learn to prosper rather than just survive? Because surviving means the bare minimum. That's what surviving means. The- Haven't we had enough of the bare minimum? And as long as you depend on somebody else to eat, then you are just going to survive. Let's stop surviving and start prospering. Okay, because that's the things that are going to separate you from the low end to the medium end and to the high end. Learn how to prosper. Okay, that's right, Gary. Live long and prosper, said Dr. Spock. Okay, well said Mr. Spock, not Dr. Spock. Come on, Dean. So anyway, I gotta go. I just saw my man was in town today, and I just knew, and I tuned into it. It was another pity party. Okay, another pity party. And that's not doing us any good to have pity on ourselves, to complain about things. Make something happen. If every other race of people can come to this city and prosper, why can't the people who helped build this city do the same thing? But you can't do it dependent on somebody else. You can't do it dependent on somebody else. We got a lot of brains out there. We got a lot of people that are smart, a hell of a lot smarter than I am. And they give them an opportunity. If we need to raise expectations in our schools and make these kids reach way down deep inside to come up with the next generation of technology, the next generation of cars, the next generation of survival. Let them do it. Loosen their brain. Right now, our kids only using about maybe 0.5% of their brain power. Yeah. Mm. Just enough to light up a light bulb, when what they can do is they can light up a city. So that's all I'm saying. We have to up the standards of living and of expectation of our kids, because those are the future people. Okay. Those are the ones who are going to make sure that when you get old, you got a little money in the bank because you're going to get a little Social Security. If they still have the Social Security thing, but I don't even know if they're going to have it then or not. Anyway, so the question of the day is it race or is it culture? I'm going to take a shot at this. I think it's culture, not race. Anyway, y'all have a good day, and we'll see you on the rebound. See you on Monday. Thanks a lot. Bye now.